Bachelor, and once again, here we are having some fun. We're going to talk NBA. We'll go NBA first. We'll change it up a little bit, do NBA first. The end of the show, go over today's hockey opening slate, the 5-game slate. First things first, thank you, all of you for all your support, your kind words. Those of you watching it live, thank you all so much. Really do appreciate it. Making sure that you guys are here on YouTube, seeing it okay. It looks like you are. So that's good. If you're watching this afterwards as well, thank you so much. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification. We're going to do a lot more of these. Hey, just randomly, we're going live and talking sports. Get that bell notification so that you can see when we go live. I really appreciate that. And if you're watching this after we record it, hit that thumbs up button. That really helps. As usual, Dion and I have our player pools for hockey, NBA, working on my NFL today. We'll have all those player pools, cheat sheets, articles, a great article by Dion for today's NHL. All of that is on Draft Dashboard. You can try it for 30 days for $1. It's in the video description. My prize picks, that's a lot of fun. Be sure to enter Dion's promo code NDO over at My Prize Picks. You can enter promo code Bachelor, but this is Dion's day, so you can enter promo code NDO. We got to make sure little Timmy, you got to make sure my nieces and nephews have sandwiches. You know what I mean? Has to happen.
Yes, sir.
So, of course, check out Overlay DFS. A lot of fun over there. Last night you go 7-5. You won $180 in that in their $22 tournament. I mean, it's just a lot of fun over there. A lot of ROI at Overlay DFS. And of course, it's tax time. If you guys are like, hey man, I need my stimulus, I need this, I need to get my account in there, but I haven't filed taxes in 5 years, hit up my friends at Tax Relief Advocates, 1-800-411-9633. It's amazing that I remember that number, honest to God, at my age. So I'm actually pretty proud of that. Now that I'm done rambling, first off, before we get into the NBA, how are you doing this morning?
Well, man, I woke up, everything was great, opening day for hockey, and then the Bears had to announce that bullshit that they said, and it just they're not gonna ruin my day though. I'm not gonna let them ruin my day.
My favorite part was, hey, they were really impressed with Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy this year. Like, someone needs to take Grandma McCaskey's keys. No more driving, no more nothing. Absolutely insane. So first, just in case you're just joining us, we're gonna go over the NBA slate real quick. I'll ramble on and on. If Dion's got something to add, he can add it. Any questions? Boom, boom, boom. Keep in mind the Atlanta-Phoenix game has been postponed tonight, so that game will not be being played. So none of those players will be on the player pool. Again, my player pool is prematurely set here. It'll move throughout the day. Timestamps, it's on Draft Dashboard. That link's in the video description. $1 for 30 days. Try it for 30 days. Maybe you hate it, think I'm an idiot. Boom, boom, boom. A lot of moving parts there. So let's just start right here at point guard. We'll go through the positions, get it done. Luka, of course. Now, Kristaps is coming back, but Dallas is going to be shorthanded. No Josh Richardson, Maxi Kleber, Dwight Powell. There's others. There's a bunch of players missing. This is why this is kind of a better way to do NBA than I traditionally do it, because I can make a video at 4 a.m. and then we already had a suspended game. I'd have talked about all sorts of Phoenix Atlanta players, and they would have been out.
Right. Yeah.
I just sound like a damn idiot. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things. I sometimes I forget that I have a comment highlighted up on the thing, and it just sits there. Sorry about that, but I have a lot of fun with that. It's like my favorite thing to do on here is pop the comments up. So thank you, Keeg, Cody, Myron, Brian, a tribe, all you guys being in here. Chamberlain, thank you all so much. So let's get it. So Luka, of course. Look, Charlotte is 4th against opposing point guards this year. You guys are going to hear the Jets flying overhead. They just never fucking stop here. They cannot help themselves. It's so annoying. But just the upside of Luka is there. His last game against Charlotte wasn't very good. Only put up a 25. The game before that, a 69. So we know, Hawks and Suns may ante up and still play like the Heat yesterday. No, they've already postponed that game. They've already announced it postponed. So I don't believe that game will be played. I like Dame a lot against Sacramento. No team in the league allows more fantasy points to opposing point guards than the Sacramento Kings. Damian Lillard's in a great spot. 9-2 FanDuel, 9-5 DraftKings. I like that play as well. Karis LeVert, just watch out for Brooklyn. It's a back-to-back. Obviously, we know Kyrie's not going to be there. He's out looking for the edge of the planet or something, trying to fall off into space. I don't know what that moron is doing. But he won't be there. So Karis LeVert, look, they could very well rest Kevin Durant as well. They'll probably play Karis LeVert. It's going to be a weird rotation in Brooklyn. Again, you can follow me on Twitter at DFS Bachelor. Follow Dion at Dion Boykin1. As soon as I get starting lineups for NBA news, if players are going to play or not, I have it up there on Twitter as well. So just something, important to keep an eye on there. I don't mind Giroux so much. against Detroit. It's real up and down. I like his price a lot better on DraftKings at 6.9 than I do on FanDuel at 7.6. LaMelo Ball has been red hot. You can continue to ride that train. Dallas is second against opposing point guards, shooting guards. But again, they're really short-handed. No Josh Richardson, who's a great defender in the backcourt for them. So things open up a little bit for Charlotte. There you go, title of her sex tape. And then LaMelo Ball is in a decent spot. De'Aaron Fox is okay, but again, there's always that Anthony Davis headed to the locker room. He's been alternating games, 42, 5, 34, 12, 42. His last time out against Portland, only a 12, a 17, and a 22. He kind of struggles against Dame. So I have tempered expectations for De'Aaron Fox. Good question here. What is the most important aspect to look at on DD? Well, I set projections. I set a cheat sheet on there. You can find it. I set my player pool. If you have my link, my player pool's there. There's also, I know Chris from there is going to be doing a COVID article to see which players are in or out about a half hour before lock. If there's any COVID issues, I think that'll really help. But really, it's putting it all together and just sort of lineup construction and, checking out the cheat sheets, the player pools, and the projections, optimizing your lineup that way. Go ahead, Dion.
I think if I had to say the best thing, it's the percentage of time a player hits value at their price tag. I think when that got added to the site, that just made it over the top, man. Because just to know that, okay, like he always says, if this player was this price for the entire year, they would hit value at this percentage of the time. That helps you a ton when you're talking about putting the right pieces around plays, different like high price plays and value plays. So heck yeah.
Yep, absolutely. And that's right here. That's on the right-hand side. Sometimes you might have to zoom out. There's a lot of information boxes here. Ownership. You can set your exposures if you're mass lineup generating, value, points per minute, and then the hit percentage. And that again is if that player was at that price all the time, what percentage of the time they would hit 5 times value on both sites. It's a really handy tool. It sort of lets you know what these players have done in the past, what they're doing. It's a great tool, so I like that an awful lot. Continue with point guard, some value. Trey Burke, look, he's going to get the minutes, and he's got the upside. So I don't mind Trey Burke. George Hill is real hit and miss, and I hated his comments yesterday. No, I understand, why he's frustrated. Like, look, you're telling me he's, basically said, you can't just tell me to stay in my house and tell me here I'm a grown man. Well, the bottom line is if you want to play in the NBA this year, that's what you have to do. So you have to decide. I'm not going to hate on you if you're like, look, it's not worth it to me. I don't want to live like this. I want to live my life. But keep in mind, you're going to give up millions of dollars in salary. So you have to decide what it is. But we'll see where George Hill's head is at. Concerns me just a little bit. And the Lakers are a good defensive team. Keep in mind, the Lakers are on a back-to-back as well as Brooklyn, as well as Oklahoma City. So there's a few teams today on a back-to-back as well. What's up, Akbar? Thank you guys for joining us in the box. And as you can see, some things never change. Here come the Jets again. You could probably hear the light roar of the flight school because they just love to fuck with me when I'm trying to do a show. They just can't help it. I literally did call the base, the flight school base. It's like a military flight school. And be like, can you guys just fucking give it a rest a little? And they're like, are you stupid, dude? Like, you think just some idiot because you want to make a sports show, you could tell us not to do our practice? Right. I wish I could. It's annoying as shit. Austin Rivers seeing some minutes for value at point guard here. Lou Williams, man, he's been real bad this year. It's been really frustrating. He's just not playing the same amount of minutes. Now, he still has that upside. We know Lou Will can go off. He's 4-4 FanDuel, 4-6 DraftKings, so I've got some tournament exposure there. And a little bit of Pat Bev on FanDuel at 4,000. I have no desire to pay the 4.7 for him on DraftKings. You'll see some minutes out of Emmanuel Quickly for the Knicks. He doesn't do shit with them. Corey Joseph, same thing. Remember years ago, I had the duck shit icon because I said Corey Joseph was about as useful as a pile of duck shit on a court. That still rings true to this day. I mean, that's absolutely true to this day. So let's move over to shooting guard. CJ McCollum, yeah, any of the guards against Sacramento, I like them. And look, Sacramento's playing at a faster pace than they did last year. Both these teams play at a nice pace. Got a total of 236, one of the highest totals, if not the highest total on the slate. Yes, it is the highest total on the slate. So CJ McCollum in play there. Keep in mind, Nurkic nursing an injury could be going to Enes Kanter at center, meaning even more usage possibly for McCollum. And Dame Paul George has been red hot, 9,000 and 9.3. Don't mind him against New Orleans. Now, keep in mind, this is not the same New Orleans team as in the past. This is a very good defensive team now in New Orleans. This isn't just fantasy goodness every time you play New Orleans, and they're playing at a slower pace. Both of these teams play at a slower pace, so it is something just to keep in mind there. SGA, a little overpriced, back-to-back. Lakers good defensively. I'll have some exposure. If I'm playing him, it's on DraftKings at 7-7. I'm not paying $8,800 for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It's just not going to happen. Again, Phoenix, Atlanta not playing, so all those players out. D'Angelo Russell against Memphis. Chance that Karl Anthony Towns returns tonight. If he does, he's an okay play. Remember, it's his wrist. It's not a knee or an ankle or a hamstring or a groin. So he should be able to go, but D'Angelo Russell going to have a huge usage rate, a 41% usage rate in his last game. Hits value, about 40% of the time at that price. 7.5 on FanDuel is a fair price for a guy with 50-point upside. Tim Hardaway Jr. going to see a ton of minutes because, again, they're minus several players on that team. So he's got some upside. I don't mind that. Dylan Brooks and Devontae Graham. I know we've been bagging on Devontae Graham, and his shooting has been absolutely dreadful, but he's still playing 35 plus, 32 to 36 minutes. Put up a 40, a 29, and a 35 his last 3 games. His last 3 games against Dallas, 52, 48, and 22, hits 5 times value 55% of the time. So Devontae Graham certainly in play. Tyrese Halliburton, the young rookie out there in Sacramento. Love his price on FanDuel at 5.4. Buddy Hield's a FanDuel play at 5,000. I won't pay the 6,500 on DraftKings. Portland's done a better job against 2 guards this year. Last year, they were one of the worst in the league. This year, one of the best so far early on, 4th against opposing shooting guards. Some value guys. Dante DiVincenzo, he's all right here. Horton Tucker on a back-to-back for the Lakers could see a little bit more run. He's at 4,000 if you're looking for a dart throw, GPP dart throw. Anthony Edwards is real hit and miss. He and Jared Vanderbilt, they sort of like exchange places in the rotation. Sort of weird there. Lugens Dort, look, he's going to start. He's cheap. Hasn't had one of those huge breakout games since, second or third game of the year, but there's some upside there as well. And with all the injuries to Memphis's backcourt, Desmond Bane is still seeing about 20 minutes. If you want to throw him in a cash game, he's sort of cheap, and he's getting to around 19 or 20 as well. So I don't hate that play. Let's go through small forwards, trying to get through these NBA plays as quickly as possible so we can talk NHL and get the info in there and not take up, a whole hour and a half of your guys' day. Today, Kevin Durant, just don't know. He and LeBron are both on a back-to-back. LeBron is more likely to play in that scenario than Durant. We'll just have to wait and see. If Durant does play, look, Kevin Durant looks like he hasn't lost a beat. He's a little slower on defense, but man, is he putting up numbers. Sitting there at 9.4 on DK, LeBron at 9.6. Kawhi, look, he's got 50-point upside. He's got a tough matchup in that front court against Zion, Brandon Ingram. Of course, they have Steven Adams now. But I could still get down a little bit here with Kawhi Leonard at 9.2 on FanDuel, 42, 68, and a 39 in his last 3 games against New Orleans Pelicans. Same, Brandon Ingram. Some days it's going to be Zion. Some days it's going to be Ingram. He's been real consistent. 4 straight games of 40 or more, including a 56 and a 44. Clippers good defensively. So it is a tougher matchup with Kawhi and Paul George. So temper your expectations a little bit with Brandon Ingram. Go ahead.
I just got a tweet. It said that Kevin Durant is going to be active on his first back-to-back.
There we go. So pop Kevin
I'll
Durant
retweet that out right now.
Excellent. That's what I like to see. Let me go ahead and retweet that as well. That's why this is such a better format. Honestly, this format's probably costing me money, to be completely honest, but I would prefer to have more accurate information and be able to go over it live with you guys. So, money be damned. It's not all about money. Sometimes we got to be the best and have the best information we can. So good job on that. Kevin Durant is active tonight and added to my player pool and cheat sheet. The Knicks are second against power forwards. It'll be a fun matchup. He and Julius Randle both have been very, very good this year. Jeremy Grant, it's crazy that he's now 8,300 and 7.9, but the bottom line is, look at his last 4 games, 43, 45, 47, 44. His last 5 against Milwaukee, his lowest total is a 37. Jeremy Grant has this is the biggest fantasy improved player from last year, from previous years. It's Jeremy Grant, hands down. It's not even close.
The beat writer been touting him hard.
Woo, Jeremy Grant has been going off, dude.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird to pay that much for him, but yeah. You got to have some exposure to Jeremy Grant. And again, it's a limited slate. There's only 7 games now with that Phoenix-Atlanta game being canceled. So there's quite a bit of upside there. Harrison Barnes, God, he's way too expensive. I'll pass on Harrison Barnes. Let me just check. I'm getting some. I was just making sure I was getting some live tweets there, seeing if there was any information to get out. Let me pull this up as well. Not on the injury report. Josh Okogie expected to play. Cool, because he won't be playing in my lineups. That's fantastic. Harrison Barnes is just too expensive. I know he had a nice game out the last game, but he's 68 and 6'7". So if you hate yourself, hate your life, and want to be depressed tonight, I guess play Harrison Barnes at that price. I'll go a little cheaper and play RJ Barrett, 6'3" FanDuel. Now he's 7-1 DraftKings, but RJ Barrett's been good. Brooklyn, again, on a back-to-back. They are going to play Durant. Still down a few, down Kyrie. I don't mind RJ Barrett. Kyle Anderson at 5'4". A lot of ball handling duties there. He's 6'4" DK. Absolutely no way. But 5'4" on FanDuel, I could get down with that. And then some value guys. Carmelo, look. Carmelo Anthony off the bench. He played 35 minutes the last game, put up a 42. But still, you get 20 to 25, maybe 30 minutes out of Carmelo at 4.5 and 4.2. I think you could do a whole lot worse. Josh Hart's a decent value play as well. Miles Bridges for Charlotte against Dallas. He'll play 25 to 30 minutes. He's got 30-point upside. He's 4.3 and 4.4. Not Michael Bridges for Phoenix. Miles Bridges for Charlotte. Thank you, Evan. I appreciate you coming in here. But yes, absolutely. Yes, I do, of course, remember you, Evan. Absolutely. I remember everybody. I appreciate all you guys, and I appreciate you hooking me up during League of Legends. That was during the dark days with no sports, and we're doing League of Legends. So thank you, Evan, for being in here. And that's nice that you have today off, too, not having to work. I haven't had a day off since June. I'm really looking forward to NFL season ending, and I'm going to probably take a day or two off. We will see. Sadiq Bey, getting 25 to 30 minutes. See some value at 4.2 and 4.7. I don't mind that. Jared Vanderbilt, we talked about it. Sometimes it's these, he gets 25 minutes, he puts up a 30. Other days he gets 12 minutes and puts up a 5. So it's really hit and miss. So just something to sort of keep an eye on there. Maybe on the back-to-back tonight, Luwawu Cabarro, TLC for Brooklyn at 4.1 and 3.5. I suppose I could get there. Derek Jones playing a few minutes as well. Looks like they're taking his minutes away. You'll probably start seeing more Carmelo, etc. there in Portland. Power forwards, Giannis, of course. He burned me the other day with that 40. He was only 10% owned as well. Very frustrating, but Giannis always in play. Detroit 18th against. He's going to play a lot of center, power forward, etc. They just don't have anyone who can deal with Giannis. On Detroit, Anthony Davis, we'll see if he plays on the back-to-back. Julius Randle, been a fantasy find this year, coming off probably his worst game of the year. Only put up a 24. Brooklyn struggles defensively in the front court, 20th versus power forwards. Kristaps Porzingis is making his debut tonight. Now, I don't think he'll play a ton of minutes. I've got him projected at about 26 fantasy points. I think you see him at about anywhere from 20 to 24 minutes tonight. They're not going to overrun excuse me. Keep smoking, baby. Keep smoking. They're not going to overrun Kristaps Porzingis. I don't mind Zion against the Clips. They're not a big defensive team in the front court. They do have Ibaka, but Zion should be able to use his physicality and sort of overrun him there as well. PJ Washington against Dallas. Look, they're short in the front court. No Dwight Powell. No Maxi Kleber. I know Kristaps is coming back. You won't see a full run there. It'll be Cauley Stein, etc. And James Johnson, who we'll get to in a moment. So PJ Washington's all right at 6'5", 6'3". Portis against Detroit. He's getting a little pricey. I don't mind his price on DK at 5'4", again, about 25 to 30 minutes a night. Brandon Clark and Bagley both in play. Brandon Clark, as long as he continues to start and get 30 minutes plus, he's got upside against Minnesota, who's just not very good. And it actually helps big men for Memphis if Karl Anthony Towns, because Karl Anthony Towns is one of the worst team defenders in the history of basketball. I mean, he's absolutely pathetic on the defensive end. So it is something to keep. When Karl Anthony Towns plays, I like playing big men more than when he's out against Minnesota. It's just something that happens. Keeg, that sucks. That's why I have everything delivered, bro. I don't even bother going to those damn stores. People are crazy. If I could get it delivered, let's get it done. I'm waiting for the strip club to start delivering. Trying to figure out a way. Like, hey, do you guys deliver? My son just turned 16. It's time to make him a man. Come on over. Okay. Let's get this shit going. I gotta be a good father here. Teach him how to be a man. Robert Covington, 4.8 and 5K. I don't mind that either. Some value. Juancho Hernan Gomez, starting for Minnesota, getting, 25 to 30 minutes. He's got some upside. We saw that 47 about 3 or 4 games ago. James Johnson for Dallas. Anytime a team gives him minutes, he is a stat sheet stuffer because he can run the point, he can pass, shoot, rebound. Sitting at 4.2 and 3.9 on DraftKings, played 26 minutes in the similar role. Last game put up a 30. I do like James Johnson tonight. Jeff Green will get some minutes for some value. And, Kyle Kuzma's way down here. It is a back-to-back. Kyle Kuzma's 3.9 on FanDuel, 5.6 on DraftKings. So you can see he's a much, much, much better FanDuel play. I'm not paying the 5.6 for Kuzma because he just go out and put up a dud. Kyle Kuzma drives me absolutely insane. Marcus Morris sitting there at 3.8 on both sides. I mean, come on. He's back. Played 25 minutes the last game. I think that's an encouraging sign. That does hurt Nick Batum a little bit. But I do like Marcus Morris. They're going to need his defense against both Ingram and Zion in the front court. Is there anyone else I'm leaving out? Mike Muscala. I'm not doing that anymore. That's it. Let's move to center. I'll take a few questions. They're called. Oh yeah, they're called escorts, not strippers. Yeah. So I'm looking more for like the party. Maybe they bring some favors. I probably have a heart attack because I haven't done that in years. Just say, you know what, son? It's time for you to be a man. Just go get it done. I put on some Christina Aguilera and let them get busy in the living room here. I'll play the arcade machine on the side. There you go. Bada bing, bada boom. Towns, we talked about it. Even if he plays, I got to see what I get out of Towns. I guess it'd be a tournament play because those guys coming back from injury, we've seen it. How many times, Dion, have we seen coming back from injury? No one wants to play him. They still got the Q-tip. Nobody plays them, and they go off for 70 points. Yeah. So those tournament things that I like.
That happens a lot too.
Yeah. So it's like sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. That's what she said. Jared Allen on the back-to-back against the Knicks. The Knicks allow the 8th most fantasy points to opposing centers. Valanciunas, his price is going way down. Minnesota allows the most fantasy points to opposing centers. Valanciunas is too cheap, in my opinion, at 6.9. I'll have plenty of Jonas Valanciunas tonight. Don't mind Steven Adams against the Clippers. I don't think Zubats and Ibaka can rebound or keep up with him. Real consistent. His price is getting a little high, so I don't know if there's that 6-time ceiling at that price. So that's what would hold me back from that. I think someone is in here trying to adjust my cheat sheet, and they keep adding Atlanta and Phoenix players. I need to slap someone in the face, tell them, listen, they're not playing. Stop looking with me, okay? I almost just said Clint Capella, let's rock and roll. No, get the fuck out of here. They're not playing. Nurkic, we talked about that injury. If Nurkic misses, Enes Kanter at 5.3. 5.3 FanDuel and 4.8 DraftKings against Sacramento, who allow the 5th most fantasy points to opposing centers. You go Enes Kanter. I don't mind Montrez on a back-to-back because if you see limited LeBron or Anthony Davis, Montrezl Harrell could be a nice play there at 5.8 and 5.6. Mason Plumlee, Mitchell Robinson right here at that 6K range. Now, Plumlee's 5.2. Mason Plumlee, he's starting, getting minutes, getting rebounds. Is a tough matchup against Milwaukee. They're 7th against opposing centers. 22, 24, and 13 his last 3. It's tough, but he's got some upside there at 5.2. Probably won't pay the 5.9 price. I do like Mitchell Robinson against Brooklyn. I'll say it again. It's been this way for 3 years. What do we say? Centers versus Brooklyn. Centers versus Brooklyn. Centers versus Brooklyn. Mitchell Robinson, 6K and 5.8. I like that. A couple value guys down here. Cauley Stein could see some more work at 4.1 on DK. Brooke Lopez, 4.5 FanDuel, 5K DraftKings. I think he's all right as well. And I guess Marcus Gasol. It is a back-to-back. Yikes. Wow, the top price on FanDuel today is Batch's ex-wife. Wait, what? Is she really? She is expensive. I'll tell you that right now. But she was till I got all the power. Damn right. But that's pretty damn funny. Oh, the top prize on FanDuel is Batch's ex-wife. Trust me, that is not a top prize you want. She's fucking crazy, man. She will have you. Your hair will turn gray in a week and a half if you. That's a tournament you want to finish second in. Okay. That's just the bottom line. That is just the absolute bottom line. I'm trying to remember that game. Why Kanter only played the 15 minutes after Nurk went down. If I remember correctly, that game was a huge blowout.
I think they were getting their ass kicked.
Yeah, so it was just a huge blowout. So they didn't have really a chance to get going. But if Cantor gets the start again, we'll keep an eye. You can follow me on Twitter. As soon as I know, I would think Cantor would get about 26 minutes or so, and that's where I would go. Cantor will play a lot more minutes as long as that game is competitive. Last game was just a blowout. So I think that's NBA for today. Again, my player pool set there, draft dashboard, as well as our hockey player pool. So now you've heard me ramble on. We did NBA. It's all there. Time for me to shut the hell up and leave it to the hockey expert. So you want to just go by position today, or you want to go game? You want to go by game, or just add a few thoughts on what you had the other day?
Actually, I think we can just add some thoughts on to what we talked about the other day, and then just take some questions if we have any questions. That way, won't take up a whole bunch of time. But we do remember today's hockey slate locks at 5:30 Eastern time.
Yep,
so
early.
Do not forget that. We were talking about this before I got on the pod. Man, I got 14 tickets on FanDuel today, and I don't have a clue what I'm going to do with all those tickets because it's only 5 games. And I kind of really know where I'm going, especially since we got some goalies confirmed. We don't have goalies from the first game confirmed yet, which is kind of weird. If anybody see that out there, just go ahead and post it in the chat box for me. But Carey Price has been confirmed. Remember I said I kind of liked him as a contrarian goalie for the day if you want to take a contrarian goalie. Anderson has been confirmed, so he's in a nice spot against Montreal. Subban has been confirmed, so
oh boy, attacking Subban, right? Because he sucks, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Vasilevsky has been confirmed as well. He's not been confirmed on Daily Faceoff, but I read the tweet where he's been confirmed. Well, he was the first one off of ice this morning, so that naturally means that he should be starting. But again, once he's confirmed, I'll tweet that back out. If Hart is in, then I do like him for Philly as one of my other goalies that I like. But my favorite is probably going to be Grubauer. He's been confirmed tonight as the late goalie for Colorado, so I don't hate that at all.
I call him Grabasser. Grabauer? That's what you're talking about? Grabasser. It's just what it looks like.
Grabasser.
Grabasser.
Who you see on Tampa taking it to the next level with Cooch out this year?
Vasilevsky was the first goalie. Did you already say that? Vasilevsky?
Yeah.
Okay, he's the first netminder off for Tampa Bay. All right.
Yep. I don't know. I do know that they're still going to be a really great team regardless. We've seen times where injury plagued them last year, and it hurt a little bit, but I don't think it hurt a ton. I don't think that I don't know if they make another run at the title again, Tampa Bay, but they still a really great team,
Yeah.
But I think it's just a wait and see on that one, kid.
How much chalk is Tampa Bay going to be tonight?
Probably pretty chalky.
Yeah.
I think they should be the highest on stack on the slate, personally.
Yeah.
Also, another thing I found out today is not only opening day, but it's also Connor McJesus' birthday. So I am going to be overweight on him today. Really like that play today, especially since it's his birthday. So gotta go with that one. And that's a birthday narrative you can go with. There's a couple of other people's birthdays today, but them I don't really like that one. My favorite stack, if we're talking about my favorite stack, then it's Tampa Bay. I mean, if you don't want to know my favorite stack besides Tampa Bay, then it'll probably be that Montreal line,
third line of the second.
Weaver, the top line.
Top line from Montreal. Okay.
Yeah. And,
I'm making lineups as you talk, so that's why I'm asking here. So I'm trying to figure out what the fuck I'm supposed to do here. But I'm like, I like tartar sauce, so Tatar, welcome in.
Yeah.
That's all I do. What do you want me to say?
Hey, what we gonna do this hockey season is we gonna let Batch pronounce all the names.
Oh boy. Ooh,
Yeah,
boy.
that's gonna be fun. And then you take a shot with every name he mispronounces.
Oh God. Oh
Jesus.
God. Oh,
There's a lot
I
of drunk
don't even
people.
know if I'm gonna drink today, man. I had such bad heartburn last night. Oh, it was absolutely terrible. I'm like, how many Nexium am I allowed to take? Is this gonna kill me? I don't even know what to do here. I finally just had to throw it all up, man. Just get it out.
Oh man. But my other, again, just playing on the birthday narrative, my other favorite stack has got to be that Edmonton top line of Connor McDavid, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Zach Casson the Assassin. Definitely love that. If you want to go deeper into it, you can also throw in Draisaitl, who's on the top power play line with them as well. So you can, especially that comes in handy because I think on FanDuel, let me see, what is Draisaitl on FanDuel? Because I know I have him.
Pull it up. He is 8,400.
No, he's still a center. So
Yeah.
if you have two centers that you really like, that's where that extra utility spot comes into play. Especially if you want to like a 4-man stack, 5-man stack, or something like that on a slate, and just get Connor McDavid and Draisaitl and still have money to pay for a different center as well. You can do that, or you just double stack those two and then use your utility spot for another winger or another defense player, something like that. So I love just doing that full stack on FanDuel today, especially with the utility spot that they provide you with, because we've never really had the chance to play 2 and 3, well, not 2 but 3 centers, 3 or 4 centers if you want to, but we do get that option on DraftKings where we can use the utility spot for another center or defenseman or an extra winger, so
Right.
It's gonna come into play. I think just once you get the hang of it on FanDuel of like your stacks and what you want to play, then that utility spot will just it'll just work its way in there as we get along throughout the season. So really like that. Also we got news that so let me see if I can get this right. I think it was 31 players tested positive. It was either 27 to 31 players tested positive for COVID in the NHL. Now, if you remember last year, they did the best job at not having any COVID cases last season. So it's going to be interesting to see how they tackled that task this season, because remember last year it was really just them going into the playoffs and they had a bubble for all of that. So it's going to be interesting to see how they actually do everything this season. But since that JT Tyler was one of those players on the list for COVID, so he's playing with the Canucks. He's been taken off and put on the COVID list, so he won't be there tonight. And we get Hoglander taking his spot on the top power play unit. Now, remember, I already like that second line from the Canucks tonight anyway, and that line was Horvat, Pearson, Hoglander, Hughes. So you can really take Hoglander tonight as a one-off as one of the cheapskates. I think I wrote him up as I wrote him up as one of the cheapskates that I liked anyway. So now if you need a cheap play, he becomes one of my top favorite plays right under Hoffman as far as the cheapskates go. Remember, Hoffman is more of a DraftKings play than a FanDuel just because of the price over there. 3,200 is really great. Like I say, he's playing on the top power play unit as well. So now you get two really cheap players on the top power play unit that you can roster both tonight. Both have a really good chance of scoring. Then you can just build around that. I mean, I think he's like 2,900 on DraftKings, and then Hoffman is 32.
Real quick question just for you, because I'm making a lineup right now, like as you're talking. So that's just what I'm doing here. While you talk hockey, I'm making lineups. First line center for Montreal, Philip Denault. He's 4,500 on FanDuel. Is that worth a one-off? Just trying to get some value in that second center spot because I've paid up for Tampa Bay and some Edmonton guys.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, But I mean, I think if I was gonna do it and you play Tampa, I would just run it back with Strome because I mean, even though we think that they're going to get thrashed tonight, it's not impossible for them to score a couple goals tonight and still lose like 4-2 or 4-1, and he's playing on the top power play unit and he's on the line with Patrick Kane.
Oh, at 4,600. Okay,
yeah.
Boom.
So
consider it done. Okay, thank you. Continue on as you were.
yeah. The NHL bubble was on point.
It was.
For the
so was the NBA. They did a great job. The bubbles worked. Obviously, the problem is the mental wear it puts on players. Look, I know they're millionaires, and I know that we don't all of us don't really care all that much. Wham, 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 millionaires, but they're still human fucking beings. That would drive you insane. If you couldn't imagine, and you have all the money in the world, and you can't do a damn thing that you want because you're stuck in a bubble. So, and I don't know how you'd make that work for an entire season. That's where I'm at. It's just like, God, how do you actually do that?
So Kashian is starting tonight for the Oilers.
He's in my lineup. 4,000 FanDuel. Are you kidding me?
Like I said, so he's been ruled in as a goalie tonight for the Oilers, Kashian. So
the goalie. I was looking at Cassian. Edmonton's top line.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. So here's the thing with that Edmonton game. I think you can attack both sides of that game. Last year, their goaltending problem was big. That was the reason why they were losing a lot of games. I mean, they were scoring a ton, but they were giving up a ton of goals as well. Still, like, he's not the answer. And the Canucks are not a bad team by far. That top line is amazing. That power play unit is really solid. So I do really like attacking Edmonton the other way. Again, he's just had his problems. It's not to say he won't pick up the win tonight, because he definitely could. Probably won't be somebody I'm going to roster. But again, goaltending was a problem for Edmonton last year. It was a big problem for them last year, which is a lot of why they lost a lot of their games. Okay. So, I mean, other than that, was there anything else I wanted to talk about? I really don't think I had anything else I wanted to talk about. But if you need a contrarian stack, like I said,
Vancouver. What was it the last game? St. Louis, Colorado, right? Are we talking contrarian stacks there?
That would be my top play. Now I said it already. And we just hold on.
No worries. I'm just
so
here.
Right now I got a Bleacher Report update that Stanley Cup odds for McKinnon and the Avies are favorites, but the Lightning and the Golden Knights are not far behind. So I have to check out that list for Stanley Cup odds. So we can give you guys some odds in case you want to bet on them. Yeah. But yeah, I really want to talk about this
game. Brandon Saad from that Colorado game as a one-off, second line on Colorado winger.
Well, I want to see if he's going to be in. I know he was listed as day-to-day.
They haven't projected second line and say, he was held out of practice on Friday. Former Blackhawk. There we go. Should be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty nice. And I like the line that he's on too. But again, if I'm playing anything from that game, it's that top line. You got McKinnon, you got Burakovsky, and Rantanen, Maker, and or Taves. Either one is fine at defender, Maker or Taves. But man, that top line is really, really, really something nasty. Really like Colorado last year. If you want the lock, personally, like I said, the lock is Tampa Bay.
Yeah. They won't let me play more than 4 players. I can't play 5 players from Tampa Bay. That is heartbreaking. Okay, now I got to take someone out.
Man.
All right, so Akbar asked some locks on the hockey slate. What do you like? Tampa Bay top line. I like Tampa Bay to win that game too, to cover the spread. I think you got plus 110 on that. We talked about Pittsburgh over Philly. We like that one too. Just taking the money line. Was that right?
Well, Philly over Pittsburgh.
Or Philly over Pittsburgh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Colorado over St. Louis. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And Vancouver, Edmonton. We're going to take birthday boy. Take Edmonton, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there we go. There we go. So there's some locks there. And go ahead, keep going. Anything else you want to add?
If you want, like I said, nobody really likes playing the late games. So if you look at the slate, you see what the games are. You have a game, which is, I believe that, no, it's not the Edmonton game. It's the game before it.
Chicago, Tampa Bay, Montreal, Toronto.
The Chicago, Tampa Bay game, I believe.
Yeah. I'm making multiple stack a lot
but
of
the thing is like you have like an hour in between that game. Yeah, the Chicago Tampa Bay game. So you got an hour in between that game. People really don't like to wait like that in hockey.
Right.
At the very least, they'll play that Edmonton Vancouver game, but that 10:30 game, people are gonna sleep on because that's basically when everybody going to bed and don't really care. So if you want a contrarian stack, it's really going to be, and again, they're not going to be like super low on, but again, they won't be very, very high on like these other stacks that's coming up before them. So it's going to be that top line, McKinnon, Burakovsky, Rantanen, Maker, or Taves. So either one of those, that or my Montreal line. That I said, the Montreal top line, Gallagher, Tatar, and Weaver. Love either one of those stacks.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. I think that's it for the show. Remember, NBA was at the beginning. If you're re-listening to this, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, not because I'm trying to be one of those douches that tells everyone to do that, but because, we weren't going to go live until I got a hair up my ass because of a tweet 20 minutes before. I said, hey, let's just do it. So there's going to be a lot of that random stuff. Of course, we'll have some more things scheduled out and everything else. And that's badass Brian Draper, that Patrick Kane's dad shops there. Tell him to score some points tonight because I'll have him in a couple contrarian lineups as well. Don't forget to check out Dion on Twitter. Check us out at Draft Dashboard, articles, player pools, etc. You can click that link in the video description below. Try it for 30 days for $1. All comments in the live chat will qualify for our $50 PayPal giveaway sponsored by our friends at Tax Relief Advocates. If you're re-listening after we record, leave a comment in the comment section, like the video, subscribe to the channel. That simple. You qualify. Thank you all so much. Thank you to Dion for jumping in quick. Good luck to your Blackhawks tonight. Actually, no, good luck to Tampa Bay tonight.
Yeah, right.
Your Blackhawks. And we appreciate all you guys. Thank you for all you coming in the chat box, making this a fun live experience and making the chat box good. May the fantasy gods be with you all tonight. Goodbye, folks.
Yay.